It's Ray, and I'm back with another word. I pray that you guys have been blessed and that this word finds you in good spirits. So this is a kingdom spouse word, a kingdom married word. And this word is for women concerning your husband, or you could be the husband listening to this word. And so this word comes from a dream that I had on February 29th of this year. So in this dream, I saw an all-gold Benz with black trim parked in a parking lot. It zoomed into the front license plate on the car, and it said a man's name. The first name started with a K, and the last name started with an M. Initially, it was one name, and then I saw the letters begin to roll and shift and begin to display a different name. The initials of the new name were still KM. The man's initial name was Keith, and then the new name was Kenneth. So the Lord let me look at those names. So Keith means wood or forest, and that reminded me of wilderness. And then Kenneth means fireborn. So the message that the Lord gave me for this word is that your husband has been put through the fire, and their wilderness being shaped and molded by the hand of God. This Benz was pure gold color, and gold has significant meaning in the Bible when it symbolizes material and spiritual wealth. Gold is often portrayed as God's glory and majesty. So in their wilderness, they're being tried and tested. Although uncomfortable, it's God's work and purpose to purify and refine them. The will of the Lord led me to kind of just study or look up, research the process of refining gold. Pure gold does not darken or burn when heat is applied, but it does melt. This way, it can be shaped and molded and formed into something new. So it's the same with your spouse. The tests, the trials, the temptations, although uncomfortable, it is not lethal, shaken but not destroyed. Okay, so burning off things out of them, burning off things around them, people, connections, environments, habits, trauma, just a lot of that they're being cleansed from. Okay, that the impurities being melted away. It could even be lifestyle. So the Lord highlighted the word refine. Gold refining takes an object's consistency of any percentage of gold to make a final product that consists only of pure gold. Refined gold is gold that has been separated from any other metals or impurities. So there is a refining that has taken place or that your spouse is currently going through. This is required before they can step into the appointed position, call, or ministry. I'm reminded of when Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days and nights. When you're fasting for 40 days, you're going to be hungry, and in that weakness, the devil came in trying to tempt Jesus to sin. So it's Matthew 4, and it's titled, Satan Tempts Jesus. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he fasted 40 days and 40 nights afterwards, he was hungry. Now when the tempter came to him, he said, If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him up into the holy city, set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus said to him, It is written again, You shall not tempt the Lord your God. Again the devil took him up on an exceedingly high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, All these things I will give you if you will fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, Away with you, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. As they're being purified and as these things are being burned out of them and from around them, it's also helping shift not just them, molding them, but it's like a smoke screen being cleared. The scales are falling off their eyes is what he just gave me. The scales are falling off their eyes. It is now allowing them to see clearly who they are first and foremost, and what they've called to do, or what they've been called to do, or who they're called to be as your husband. Is giving them that certainty. Right after this, it goes into the next passage, and the title of that next passage is Jesus begins his ministry. Okay, so this is the final stage. Your spouse can either be stepping into this now, or this can be something that they've been going through, because like I said, the Lord gave me this dream on February 29th. And so this could be something that they have gone through, and now they're at their final stage, about to come out of it. So either the spouse is going through this now, or they're not coming out of it. The Lord has tested them, refined them, purified them by fire, and they've come out pure gold. Now they're ready to step into their ministry, step into that call, step into that position. So just as I was talking about the devil trying to tempt Jesus in his weakness, in Matthew 4, we also see that here in Daniel 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were being tempted again by the enemy to bow down and worship a different god, the gold image that was set up by Nebuchadnezzar. And at the end of their refusing, he went into a rage at their refusal. He went into a rage at their disobedience to him, but their obedience to God, our God, and he ended up wanting to throw them into the fire. He also had the furnace heated up 7 times hotter than its usual temperature. So it says, then these men were bound in their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and these 3 men fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and he rose in haste and spoke, saying to his counselors, did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, true, O king. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke, saying, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came from the midst of the fire, and the satraps, administrators, governors, and the king's counselors gathered together, and they saw these men on whose bodies the fire had no power. The hair of their heads was not singed, nor were their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not on them. And the Lord had me researching the process of finding gold by fire. It says, pure gold does not darken or burn when heat is applied, but it does melt. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him, and they have frustrated the king's word, and they yielded their bodies, that they should not serve nor worship any god except their own. Therefore, I make a decree that any people, nation, or language which speaks anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into pieces, and their houses shall be made an ash heap, because there is no other God who can deliver like this. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, so after this fire, after this testing, after this purification, after they come out purified, pure gold, with no impurities, with all the things that the Lord has been working on them burned out and burned off of them and burnt from around them, they'll be ready to be presented. They will be ready to be promoted. They will be ready to take their position in this word as your husband, because this word is for marriages, as your husband. So Daniel 3 and Matthew 4. All right, and so born by fire, refined, purified, renewed. And so your spouse has just been given a new name. So test the spirit behind this word. Take this word back to the Lord and ask the Lord to confirm this word for you to speak to you further concerning your individual situation. Feel free to share this word with anyone for me to hear this word. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, hit the notification bell so that you're notified of any future uploads when I post. And I'll be back soon with another word.